Not hating on them, just pointing it out. My name is Aaron Glenn Narona. From my accent, it is quite obvious. I'm sorry, it is not quite obvious to guess where I'm from. But for your sake, I'm from India. I grew up in the Middle East, in Qatar. Um, I have just graduated from my master's in biotechnology from Wageningen University. Uh, my graduation was last week, so I am still undergoing the experience is still surreal that I have my master's degree, that I am an MSc graduate. And I'm
Nice.
looking for jobs, so I am excited, I'm a bit anxious, a bit nervous, but I'm having a positive attitude, so I'm looking forward to where my decisions take me. So, contrary to the popular opinion that people had, I did not experience the Dutch culture shock as people were expecting. I did not see that, like when people are roaming around in shorts and tank tops in the summer or going to church in shorts, for example, I was not like thrown away. Which is something like, okay, this is new, maybe this is what they do here. But it was, the culture shock to me came when I saw how families interacted. When you had an event, for example, when you invited people over for tea, here, for example, they'd offer you a cookie. With the family's tradition, it's like one cookie, right? If you're lucky, maybe two cookies. Not hating on them, just pointing it out. Whereas back in an Asian culture, because Asian and African culture as well, when you are invited home, you are invited home. As in, hospitality is key. The host makes you feel like you're part of the family. So there is no limit put on stuff. Everything is given to you. You're made to feel like king, queen, and it's just a different vibe. Also the system that once the kids turn 18, they move out, and then their life is separated from their parents. That was different for me because I'm used to growing up living with the family. Once you're done with studies and work, you come back home to your family. Mom, dad are part of your family. You never think you're separate. So come the summer holidays or winter holidays when I'm alone over here, the Dutch people are also here. I find it a bit weird that everyone is still in their own home. No one, they're not proactive in the idea of, or in the notion of going home to grandparents, to parents, just having a good time, making a lot of noise. So that was a culture shock for me. But otherwise, Netherlands is a country that I like. It's green, a lot of fresh air. People are friendly, at least the ones, by God's grace, all the people I've met so far are friendly. They are, what's the word I'm looking for? It's abundant in greenery.
Yep.
And that was one of my requirements when I was choosing a college. I was like, I want to go to a country where it's green, it rains. And I was also like, I want to go to a country I've never been to before and where I don't know many people. Mostly because greenery and rain, because I did my bachelor's in India, so it was also a place where it rained. It was a good amount of rain.
Yep.
Not throughout the year, just a good amount of rain in the rainy season.
Yep.
And it was green, so it was beautiful to be there. I fell in love with the nature over there. So here also the same thing. I've fallen in love with the place.
Wow.
The rain doesn't dampen the mood for me. I enjoy the rain, except when it pours cats and dogs. And I also like the fact that since it's a new environment, I don't have it's a new mentality that I'm facing. I get to see people in a new kind of environment, new mindset, so I'm learning from them.
Yep.
So now I'm an Indian, Middle Eastern, and a Dutch mindset, so it's an amalgamation of three things.
Yep.
And I'm learning and I'm growing, so I'm different from who I was when I started.
True.
And I hope to continue growing wherever I go from now on.
Yep.
Come to the education. Education has been different from Indian education, with more emphasis on application and practical orientation.
Yeah.
Initially it was a bit tricky in the classroom because here people didn't actually the faculty was never pissed off or angry when kids walked in half an hour late as well. I'm used to a place where you have to be on time to class, or 5 minutes late, 15 minutes late is allowed. Otherwise the teachers throw you out.
Yes.
But over here they were just like, yeah, walk in, no problem. or we have like they have like these e-classes where you sit in your room, you have the camera in the classroom. So it took me a while to get used to it, but when I look back at it, I feel that I've learned a lot. The education is exactly what I needed, because the practical and the application aspect of all the studies, it forced me to actually critically analyze what exactly I'm learning in theory, what I've learned until now. And then it actually made me think, okay, how can I apply this in the real world?
Yep.
So then it actually made me proactively think of my future while I was studying itself.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that was something that this is a choice that I've never regretted. That coming to Netherlands, studying in Wageningen University, studying biotechnology. I've loved the field since I've taken it in my high school.
Okay.
So it's been 8 years in the field. I love it. I'm glad I've been here. It was a bit challenging at first, but now after the whole thing, I feel refreshed.
Do you think the education system is harder? Is the workload the same, like from what you are used to?
No, the workload is different. What I will say is the comparison is based on how the courses are arranged. Right, so I can't say, hey, the Indian course is better, Dutch course is bad. Rather, Indian course is more theoretical, so the assignments they give you, right, will be based like, okay, you've studied this in theory, so hypothetically, or so, if I give you a problem statement, how would you solve it?
Yeah.
Right, just use your theory knowledge.
Yeah.
Here they'll say, okay, you know this, the theory you've learned. Hypothetically, in the real world, if this happens, what will you do with these certain limitations? I don't have to I don't have to beat it into me, but using that theory, what can I do with it? How can I solve the problem? So it's a different approach. The assignments have been catered in that manner, the projects are made in that manner, and the people and the group works here are pretty interesting because it's an international college.
Yeah.
So here it's not just only Indians. You have people from so many different places, people who've studied before, people who've done a job before. So it's just so many different mindsets, so many different people, so much. It's like a farm where you have so much growing, so much to take in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like, whoa, where should I start? So there is indeed a difference, but then you can't make a direct comparison, in my opinion.
That's good to know. But are there challenges? Are there challenges
Yeah.